Hi guys, how are you?
Hello,
Gabriella.
Hey, Gabriella.
In the very first episode, we see Freddy pretty much losing, I don't want to say dignity, but I think it is his dignity when he loses.
Brother are a coke-sniffing cunt.
What a great show. I cannot stop watching it. What was it with this? And, I wanted to ask you, in one line, what would you say is one Guy Ritchie thing that we get to see in The Gentleman?
I feel like it is Guy Ritchie's distinct style of like quintessentially British heightened gangsterism, both in the form of the aristocrats and the mobsters of various shades that crop up throughout the show. See if you can do better than that. Word salad.
I would say, it's very Guy Ritchie, but it's also what the territory that's new and I find interesting is the aristocratic nature of this family. That's what I find interesting, because Guy has touched on it, but he's never really focused on that in any of his work before. So that unique sense of Britishness, this strange family who have acquired wealth that's been passed down over many centuries, and all the strange toffery around that, these toffs and their strange beings and strange ways. That was intriguing to me.
Yeah, fun. Enjoyable watch, You sit down with a bowl of popcorn and enjoy the film,
Yeah.
Stylish cinematography, I'd say, which I really enjoy watching. Really cool shots and unique sequences that you have to actually pay attention to follow.
One line, she said.
Sorry.
Right.
Classy,
comedic debauchery.
And I have to tell you that to me, one Guy Ritchie thing is that he makes me laugh of things I should not be laughing about. I feel guilty about it, and I'm curious whether or not you get to experience that as well when you're shooting. Like, do you find yourselves laughing at things you shouldn't be laughing about?
100%.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah.
I mean,
constantly. He has a he comes up with stuff on the fly, and that makes sense. That's funny. And I also enjoyed Dan kind of letting rip on the improv a couple of times so that he could just really delve into being deeply inappropriate.
Which is my safe space.
He makes me second guess if I'm a good person, to be honest. Whenever I watch his films, I'm like, am I actually a good person? Is this what a good person would do?
As the new landlord, you will receive a significant amount of money in return for letting us carry out our activities.
No, come on. You are one of my favorite people on TV working nowadays. And I think the reason why is because you make characters such as this one, who are even evil, charming, and I hate myself for liking them. What's the secret on that, Giancarlo?
I think the secret is for me to add little special sauce, which is me. I think the secret is when I started to do roles and realized that people are not just black and white, but they're a shade of gray too, and that they could also be villainous or threatening, but still be charming as well, was the day that it freed me up to a great realization that we are human beings and we have good days, bad days, and some of us have decided to live a life that is a little despicable. But why can't that be fun and charming too? Definitely. And
I was curious about, is it hard for you not to judge whatever your characters are doing in order to actually step into their mind?
I embrace what my characters do. I do have somewhat of an idea that they're doing, some of the characters I play are doing things that I wouldn't do, but I'm playing them. So then I question myself when I go home and go, well, maybe I would do that because I'm already doing it.
I'm kind of glad you don't, but let's keep it that way.
Well, I'm doing it on television. I'm glad I don't too. But no, that's what I meant. I'm not doing it in real life, but I'm acting it out. Look, I worked with an actor years ago who told me that the body doesn't know the difference. Made me think very deeply about things I do in Breaking Bad that are really harsh. And if my body doesn't know that I really didn't do that, I'm sort of feeling that emotion. Think about it. When you're feeling the emotion of a moment, I put a bag over a guy's head. in Better Call Saul, and I choke him out, and my body feels like I'm really doing that. So psychically, you could have some damage. So I try to be lighter when I leave those scenes and forgive myself. I'm very careful not to hurt the other actor, but I have to realize that that action is still being done.
These are serious people. Although they appear to be house-trained, don't be deceived by the facade.
What do you think is the role each of these characters play in this Glass family and then this feud? What do you think is what they bring to the table as a group as well?
I think it's the devotion and loyalty that they have to each other. I mean, there's a definite... Jack is the only thing that can break Susie, and impressing her father is the thing she most wants to achieve in life. I think her loyalty to her family is very, very intense, and at sometimes can be a detriment to her business mind. But I think that's also quite realistic, right? We all have those things that make us not handle situations the way we should, and for her, that's definitely the love of her family.
Yeah, it's okay. In a way, it's for me. You're looking at the aristocrats in it. It's a kind of a mirror of the two families, and dysfunctional is the aristocrats. But actually, when I think about it, the actual East End gangster family, our family, is very functionable. Because we're in control. We know exactly what we're doing, and we're good at it, and we enjoy doing it. You know, so although people on the outside would probably call us dysfunctional, I think we're the most functional thing in it. You know?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
It's functional by law, but by the way you should live your life, we're actually not, because it's all about the family at the end of the day. How you get about it, different story, but at the end of the day, that's what's important.
Theo, I think greed and life-threatening situations bring out the best and the worst in people. What do you think is what these situations, because obviously Eddie is dealing with both, what do you think is what these situations bring out of him?
Well, I think it's a story about a man who's a moral person and is trying to do the right thing, but then is poisoned by power and greed. He realizes that true power lies in control and violence, and that is very alluring for him. So his soul is darkened.
I like to make my characters obviously interesting, and sometimes I like to misdirect my audience so that to have them think that maybe I want this, but I don't. I want this. That's the interesting thing about creativity and working with great writers like Guy Ritchie on this, and having long conversations about who Stanley is and who he could be. I found it fascinating because Stanley really is a fish out of water, as I am as an American actor in an all-British production. Stanley is an American businessman coming to Great Britain to really try to start a new business. And so he's a fish out of water too. And so that plays into, my ability to be able to understand him a little bit deeper, on a deeper level, because he has a great respect for the UK.
So in order to stop ourselves being associated with criminals, we are going to become criminals.
Daniel, in the very first episode, we see Freddie pretty much losing, I don't want to say dignity, but I think it is his dignity when he loses. Sorry about that. The chicken suit just play the trick. And I'm curious, as an actor, do you ever, obviously he needs to do this, but as an actor, do you ever need to kind of let go of your self-consciousness to do things that you really wouldn't want to do on screen?
Definitely. I think, and I think, that was one of the challenges going through the series is we're going to see this guy be shamed, multiple times, because that's kind of the inevitable scenario that he's going to keep bringing on himself by the nature of his sort of addictive personality. But so I think definitely it was a kind of leap of faith, and one of those things where I was like, this is what the story is. He can't, the thing doesn't kick off if he doesn't lose his shit when he gets passed over in the will reading, and similarly the story grinds to a halt if he doesn't get dressed as a chicken and ritualistically shamed. If he kind of just breezes through that, then there kind of is no show. It's one of those things where, in order to sort of catalyze, good word, right, the story, particularly for Eddie, for Freddie's younger brother, it was kind of something where I was like, I'm just gonna have to go big or go home.
Exactly.
To be fair, that was a cool chicken suit. I would wear it.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? By the way,
It could have been worse. Let's just put it that
I know
way.
it could have been 100% worse. That chicken suit that we had, 3 of them. They're handmade with individually, threaded real chicken feathers.
Yeah.
So it is, in a sense,
No
an
chickens
actual
were
giant
made.
chicken. No chickens. Well, I mean, at some point,
Yeah.
but not by us.
Okay, that's good. That's all that I need to know. Guys, thank you so much and congratulations on this show. It's so amazing. I'm gonna keep on watching it till it's done. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Lapsang Su Chunk.